Hello everyone, so welcome back to my YouTube channel Bodhisattva Learning. So today we'll be discussing force and laws of motion. This is very important chapter and I have taken this chapter from class 9 books. So force and laws of motion. It is very easy. What is force? Force cannot be seen, but the effect of force on an object can be seen or felt. Force in your daily activity, you play football, you play other matches, you play with tennis or anything like that. All of these activities requires force. So basically force cannot be seen, but the effect of force can be observed. So this is the idea behind the force. Force cannot be seen, but the effect of the force can easily be felt. So this is one of the most important property of force. Now moving forward, here are some of the examples to understand the term force. So, for example, if you have a ball on the surface, the ball will remain in rest. The ball will remain in rest until or unless you have applied the force. बॉल तब तक रेस्ट में रहेगी जब तक आप उस पर फोर्स ना अप्लाई कर दें. दैट मीन्स इफ़ यू पुश द बॉल इट विल बिगिन टू मूव, अदरवाइज इट विल टेंड टू लीव स्टे इन इट्स ओन रेस्ट पोजिशन. Means the ball will be set in motion only if the force is applied on it. So this is very easy example. This is ball lying on the floor and suppose you are hitting it with the bat. This means that it will only move when it will exert some force. So this is very easy and easy to understood. Okay, next is the consider a ball rolling over the surface of a floor. This is the third example. You have a ball rolling on the surface of the floor. If you push it with hand, then it will move further, or if you put your hand on the ball stop, it will of course stop. That means you are applying certain kind of force on the ball in order to make it roll or in order to make it bring it in the rest position. So this is the key theme of this particular word, that is force. Now another example of force is having a rubber ball. You all have played rubber ball in your childhood, or you are playing right till now. Okay. You all have the rubber ball in your house, and when you press the rubber ball, of course it will deform its shape. It may convert itself into an type of oblate shape. It will not be spherical as it was. So this is the another deformation which we study here. This is the another example of force. If you apply some force on the rubber ball, it will change or deform its position. And next is you pull the drawer of the table. You will find that drawer moves in the direction of pull. Of course, you have drawers in your home. You have door. You have everything. All the thing around your surroundings requires some kind of force. So this is very easy to understand. Now we will learn basically two types of force. What are the basic two types of force? The two basic types of force are balanced force and unbalanced force. So let us begin. In balanced force, the net force, the sum of net forces is 0. That means if you have a table, on that table you have kept your lunch box or any certain kind of box on the table, then if your friend exerts some pressure on the box from left hand side and you exert the same pressure, same force from the right hand side, that means the box will not displace from its position. It will lie on the same position as it is shown in the figure 6. That means the F1 which is exerted by you and the F2 which is exerted by your friend will be equal. If it will be equal, then there will be no force working on this box. It will be automatically cancelled out. That means here balanced force is working. Understood? Now let us move to the next idea, that is unbalanced force. In unbalanced force, the net force is never 0. It will have some kind of amount. It will never be 0. The net force, the sum of net forces acting on an object is not 0 whenever unbalanced force is acting on it. Suppose you have a table, you kept your box again, and your friend is exerting high pressure than you, and you are exerting pressure with your fingers only, and he is exerting pressure by using both the hands. He's pulling towards him and you are also pulling towards you, but your force is lower than his force. That means the box will move towards the right direction, that is towards your friend. So here also unbalanced force work. Sorry, I was saying pressure again and again. It was force. So here the unbalanced force is working in this way. The pressure exerted by your friend is always larger than that of you. That means it will shift towards the right hand side of the table. Here unbalanced force is working. Means if your friend is exerting F2 and you are exerting F1, this means F2 will be greater than F1. So it will have some amount on it and it will not be cancelled out. It will be shifted in one direction. So let us have some examples of unbalanced force. Unbalanced force example is very easy. That is when you have, I mean, you all have played the game tug of war. Most of you have played the game tug of war. As here is the example. In tug of war, this is the example of balanced force when somebody pulls the rope towards himself, or another team B pulls the ropes to himself towards himself. That means there is some forces acting on it. If it is stable, if the knot between the both parties A and B, if it is stable on this line, that means balanced force is working. If this knot is not stable, if it is shifted either of the sides, if it is shifted towards A side, that means unbalanced force is working. Means this knot is shifted towards that side and A will be the winner. So this is the example of balanced and unbalanced force. Now we have now let's look up to next level of examples, like we have observed in our surroundings. Suppose we have a wall. Okay, on that wall you exert some kind of pushing pressure on the wall, and do you think that wall of your room will move when you apply some pressure on it or force on it? Of course it will not move, because the wall in your room will exert same amount of force as you are exerting on it. That means balanced force is working over there. So here is the example of that wall. Two persons are exerting same kind of pressure on the wall. What is happening? The wall will not move and the balanced forces will work on here. And there are so many different examples of balanced and unbalanced force. Suppose in unbalanced force, one more example is there. You all have played the pedaling. You all have played that game of swing, up and down swing. Here also unbalanced force works. Here A is heavier than B, then that means it will move down and he will rise up. So here also unbalanced force is working. Now we have completed balanced force and unbalanced force. You may take a screenshot of both the topics. I'm showing you the slide. You may take the screenshot from the starting. Here is the definition of force in the green line. I have marked very nicely. I'll read for you. A force is a physical quantity which causes or tends to cause a motion in an object at rest, or changes or tends to change the direction of motion of a moving object, or changes or tends to change the size and shape of an object, or changes or tends to change the speed of an object. Effect of force: a force can change size, shape, speed, direction, rest of an motion of an object. So this is the proper definition of force. And here you can take the screenshot of balanced and unbalanced forces. Here you may have a doodling drawing on your notes copy about pushing a wall. And the next one is, this is the tug of war. This is the game which is played between team A and team B, holding a rope. And next is this unbalanced force. The concept of unbalanced force is only that one force will be bigger than F1 will be bigger than F2, or F2 will be bigger than F1. There will be no balancing between them. That means there will be no cancellation of the forces. Next, we have examples of unbalanced force. Two children playing a game, seesaw. This game is known as seesaw. Or you are paddling the cycle. So these all are the examples of unbalanced forces. Now in the next video lecture, we will study about first law of motion, law of inertia in detail, with different examples and different kind of examples and stories behind that. So stay tuned with us and subscribe to this channel. We'll meet in the next part of this video. Stay tuned and be happy.